This video is going to cover a couple of special cases that you'll see when you're graphing linear equations in two variables. Well, I guess not just graphing, when you see the equation or you're looking at the slope. So it's going to cover horizontal and vertical lines. So I have the information here with bullet points. An easy way to remember all of this is hoi vux. Okay, hoi vux. So horizontal lines have a zero slope and y equals a number as the equation. Okay, vux stands for vertical lines have an undefined slope and it has x equals a number as its equation. And so if you can remember hoi vux, that will help you remember all of the information about these two special cases, the horizontal and the vertical line. So let's use that information and look at the examples below. So for number 1, write the equation for the given graph. So I can see that this is a vertical line, right? We're looking at the graph F. This is a vertical line. So I want to maybe make a little note, the vux, right? Vertical line, undefined slope, x equals a number is the equation. X equals a number is the equation is what I'm interested in here, right? Because that's what they ask us to do is write the equation. So x equals, we know the equation is going to look like that. The number that it equals is where it crosses the x-axis. So if you look at F, it's right here, you can see that it crosses the x-axis right between 6 and 8, which means it's at 7. So x equals 7 is the equation associated with this vertical line. Okay, and if you have that information memorized, the vux, right, you get that right away. Number 2, sketch the graph of the given equation. Notice I have a y equals. The y equals is in the hoi part, right? Okay, so y equals a number. That leads me to a horizontal line. That's what I need to know. A horizontal line going through -3. So that means it looks like this. It's going to go through the y-axis at -3. So you should be thinking, go through the y-axis at -3. Okay, so if you go to the y-axis at -3 and you draw a horizontal line, that is your answer. Okay, so these are always going to be go through the whatever variable, blank axis, at whatever number you have. Okay. Number 3 and 4, we are asked to write the equation of a line that passes through the given points. So here we need to be able to find the slope. Okay, so find the slope associated with these 2 points. So for number 3, the slope formula, let's write it up here, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you remember from a previous video, this is the change in y over the change in x. Okay, so the change in y over the change in x. So you're going to subtract the y values and put the difference on the top, and you're going to subtract the x values and put the difference on the bottom, and that's going to be your slope. So I can label these if it makes it easier. Okay. The key here is making sure that one point is labeled x1, y1. The ones have to go together, and the little subscripts 2 have to go together. So x2 has to go with the y2. Okay. Notice that the x2 and y2 are on top of each other in the formula, and the y1 and x1 are on top of each other in the formula. So your ordered pairs have to be on top of each other, the two values. Otherwise, this formula does not work. Okay, so m equals y2 is 5 minus y1 is 2 over x2 is negative 1 minus x1 is negative 1. So it has a minus from the formula and then a negative from the x1 being a negative 1. So this is going to be 5 minus 2 over negative 1. Two negatives make a positive. So that's going to be 3 over 0. Okay, so this is what? What happens if you divide by 0? This is undefined. Okay, you cannot divide by 0. It gives you an undefined solution. Number 4, let's go ahead and do the work because I want to compare these before we move forward. Number 4, we use the same formula. I can label my points if I'd like. If that makes it easier for you, I would suggest doing it. y2 is 2, y1 is 2, x2 is negative 1, minus x1 is 3. So this will be 0 over negative 4. 0 divided by anything is just 0. Okay, so this one is okay. 0 divided by any number is just 0, unless it's divided by 0, and that's different. So here's how I remember this. If you have trouble remembering which one is 0 and which one is undefined, you can remember no and okay. So if the 0 is on the bottom, that's a no. That's undefined. If the 0 is on the top, you're okay. That's a 0. Okay, so no and okay. That's how you can remember which is which. So let's get back to the problem at hand. Here we have a 0 slope at number 4, and number 3 we have an undefined slope. If you remember the Hoy-Bucks, it'll help you connect the information. So horizontal line, 0 slope, y equals a number is the equation. Vertical line, undefined slope, x equals a number is the equation. So for number 3, we have an undefined slope. That's right here. So that's going to be linked with a vertical line, and x equals a number as the equation. So for number 3, I'm going to have x equals, what number do you think that's going to be equal to? The x value. See how the x values match? It's always going to be that. So x equals negative 1 is the equation of the vertical line that passes through the 2 points given. You know it's a vertical line because the x values match. All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4 is a 0 slope. 0 slope. Notice that's in the Hoy part. It's a horizontal line with y equals a number as the equation. So y equals, what do you think it's going to equal? See how the y values are the same now? So y equals 2 is the equation of the horizontal line that passes through the 2 points given. All right, here is the URL to the OpenStax textbook, which I used as a reference for the wording and some of the examples contained in this video. If you have time and you want extra practice, I highly recommend that you go to the website. They have a lot of practice problems, and they even include the answers to the odd problems. So that'll give you some good practice when you're going through some of these different topics.